Hey guys, it's Mike. I review nootropics and talk personal development. These nootropics will help fix whatever financial problems you may have gotten yourself into. There's a very important distinction to make when it comes to nootropics because a lot of nootropics are going to help you with fighting stress or being present. But what about those nootropics that are just going to help you make more money because they're going to improve your work ethic? They're going to help you stay sharp throughout the whole day. And these 5 nootropics have made a big difference for me. What they are is number 1, caffeine and L-Theanine. Second would be L-Tyrosine. Third is Piracetam. 4 is Noopept. And 5 is Alpha GPC. And if you get value out of this video, click subscribe, click like, and let's talk about them. Let's start with caffeine and L-Theanine. What this is going to help you do is it's going to help you be more productive and really energize you both physically and mentally. For me, what that looks like is I'm taking 2 to 3 pills per day of 100 milligrams of caffeine and 200 milligrams L-Theanine. And what that looks like is then, again, at the end of the day, it's going to be 300 milligrams of caffeine and 600 milligrams of L-Theanine, again, split across 3 servings. Where is caffeine helpful? Well, for most people, provided that you don't get the anxiety from it, it's going to really energize you. And I do feel that with caffeine, it especially helps with mood, turning off that logical mind, which most of us have, and helps us be more imaginative, creative, and really gives us the ability to manufacture optimism. And whereas what the L-Theanine does is that's going to help you to reduce the bad side effects you may get from caffeine, which are for most people like a jittery, uncomfortable feeling, like not feeling yourself, and help you with anxiety. So the practical way in which one would take this is that it's actually purchasable this way in the proper ratio of caffeine to L-Theanine. So these are capsules, again, of 100 milligrams of caffeine, 200 milligrams of L-Theanine. All right, now nootropic number 2 is L-Tyrosine, and as you browse through examine.com, I think this is one of the most impressive supplements out there. It's going to help you with cognition, really helps, in my opinion, for decreasing stress. And then you can see here there's an improvement across subjective well-being, which basically means that subjects said they were in a better mood. Again, it's subjective. And then really what you can notice from L-Tyrosine is an improved work ethic, more so just straight work ethic, energy, focus, concentration, and sometimes that's what you need to do. And where I find L-Tyrosine ideal is particularly in the later portion of the day. So for me, what that looks like is maybe 4 o'clock p.m. or if I'm having one of those really late nights, even 7 o'clock p.m. Because what so is with L-Tyrosine, this is a really good substitute for caffeine if you need like a pick-me-up at the end of the day. You obviously want to avoid caffeine at the end of the day, seeing that it can cause insomnia or maybe prevent you from hitting those deep levels of sleep. That's where L-Tyrosine can make a big difference. And here's just a little hack for you. Take it fasted without a meal or like 2 hours after having a meal. The magic really happens when you take it without other amino acids or it's not competing with any incoming calories. Here's what the product looks like. You can get it again in a bottle of which typically it's being sold as 500 milligrams to 1 gram. This is a 500 milligram capsule. In most cases, this is enough. You may need to go up to 1 gram. And then L-Tyrosine's neat in that it has benefits across body composition. For those of you aspiring to build more muscle or lose fat, being beneficial for improving your physique. For me, like taking caffeine and taking some L-Tyrosine prior to doing cardio, oh my gosh, my fat will just rip away. All right, now nootropic number 3 would be Piracetam. This is one of the first nootropics that I tried, and it has benefits across memory, energy levels. It's going to help you with your cognition and finding a way to solve problems you wouldn't maybe been able to find without Piracetam. Although what's so is with Piracetam, unfortunately, it's one of the less immediately effective nootropics. So when you take it, you're not going to really notice anything that same day. For most people, it takes typically about 2 to 3 weeks for users to start noticing the benefits. One thing which I notice with Piracetam, when I'm taking it properly, and you need to take it again for a few weeks, what so is my memory's better. My general work ethic is a lot better. I have an increased desirability to make money or grow in some sort of way, maybe work on a project and just get things done and embrace that mindset of why get things done tomorrow when I can get them done today. The way in which I take Piracetam and most people take Piracetam is such that they're taking 2 grams a day divided across 2 doses. So 1 gram maybe in the morning and 1 gram in the late afternoon. And once you do that for about 2 weeks, then it's somewhat saturated in your system and you can notice the benefits. It probably took me maybe 5 or 6 months of taking Piracetam on and off to notice that it was doing something. And I could definitely tell that my memory was a lot better when I was taking Piracetam as I was involved in some courses. So this is a neat nootropic in that I've not found it necessary to cycle off too often. Maybe you take it like 2 months on, 2 weeks off in that kind of fashion, and then rotate depending on how you respond to it, because I'm going to respond to Piracetam very differently than you may respond to it. You'll typically find it in like a big tub, or you can get it usually in capsule form. I've not really found any difference between the two, but the piracetam does taste absolutely awful. Actually, most racetams do. You get used to it, so I don't really find it that bad anymore. But if you're new to nootropics, capsules over powder for you when it comes to piracetam. Nootropic number 4 would be Noopept. Noopept is like a lot more potent than piracetam. So it's such that with Noopept, you can notice something immediately. I find that when I use Noopept for 2 to 3 hours, I'm getting in good, productive work. I found Noopept to be probably the best thing when it comes to work ethic that doesn't have a crash. It's pretty mentally stimulating, although not physically stimulating. You won't really feel the need to be on your feet like you would typically with caffeine, but mentally just more alert. I find from the time that I take Noopept, my priorities are top of mind. I have this ability to shut out distractions, and that just makes it such that I get a lot done. And I find that with Noopept, this is really the ideal nootropic for most people if they're looking to just simply make more money, because you're horribly imbalanced when you're taking Noopept. There's been times in the past where I was taking too much, and I had like no interest in working in my social life, no interest in really doing anything outside of just the high income producing activities. Because everybody has like a few things in their industry or job which are really going to make the cash register ring. And that's what's so Noopept will get you zoned in and tunnel vision on those particular tasks. I think of the 5 nootropics here, Noopept is the one that I believe sincerely the most has made a big difference for me when it comes to just straight up making money. You'll typically be able to find them in like 10 milligram form, or sometimes even 30 milligram forms, to which I think is too much, so I would not use that twice a day, because Noopept is such that it makes you stimulated and you do build up somewhat of a tolerance. So this is one nootropic I don't think you should be taking all the time. I think it's something good like maybe 3 weeks on and 1 week off. And that week off, you have an opportunity to kind of reset yourself and make yourself more sensitive to it the next go around. Be mindful of how much Noopept that you're taking, because the good news is it works, but the bad news is you do build somewhat of a tolerance to it. So the way in which I'm taking it is 10 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day, just depending on how many hours I'm putting in. Nootropic number 5 would be Alpha GPC. What is this? It's a choline source. It's found in egg yolks, but pretty hard to find outside of egg yolks in the general diet. I'm looking through examine.com. You can see there's studies here helping with cognitive decline, improvement in power output, fat oxidation, growth hormone, iron absorption. I found that this nootropic is kind of like energy for the brain. Pretty much makes all your nootropics work a lot more significantly. So it makes for a nice kind of nootropic to add on top of your stack, because you'll find yourself being more sharper. It's not really a nootropic to help you too much with creativity, but in specific tasks, you'll find that you're in that good resourceful state as far as like word recall, execution, thinking of the next thing very, very quickly. So I would recommend that you do check out some sort of choline source. For me, the reason that I like Alpha GPC versus some other forms like choline bitartrate or CDP choline is that for me anyway, it's more effective, and it's a good nootropic also to take pre-workout, and that it has some interesting studies again when it comes to improving your body composition. So with Alpha GPC, this complements piracetam and Noopept very well. So if you take those two, then Alpha GPC is something maybe you should consider trying as well with it. I like the Alpha GPC 50%. You can try the 100%, but the issue with the 100% is yes, it's more potent, but if you get like a little drop of water in it, it seems all contaminated and the powder can just get all stuck together. So the way in which I'm using Alpha GPC is I'm taking 300 milligrams 3 times per day. Let's say if it's even a half day of work, I would still take maybe 300 milligrams during the time I'm working, and then maybe 150 milligrams again and 150 milligrams thereafter, because this is just a good nootropic overall for brain health and just something you feel like you should take to be healthy, kind of like fish oil or taking zinc or magnesium. Alpha GPC, I like it a lot. It's been a game-changing nootropic for me and is really relevant when it comes to making more money. Hope you guys found that helpful, guys. Be sure to click like, subscribe, comment below which nootropic you think is missing. And the way in which we'll end this video is with an insertion of another video I've made on 5 nootropics for beginners. And I'll look forward to seeing you all next time. We're doing bad in the first week of use. Nootropic number 4, and a lot of people think the world of this nootropic. It's called Bacopa Monnieri, and Bacopa Monnieri is great for fighting stress, it's great for staying present, and it's also really impressive for memory, for like your short-term memory, your long-term memory, your ability to recall things. I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but